The bridge at Willow Bend. Josh Morgan never thought much about Willow Bend. It was the quiet town he drove through on his way to bigger things. He grew up on the edge of it, left after high school, and promised himself he'd never look back. But life has a way of pulling you toward the places you once tried to forget. It started with a phone call early one Thursday morning. His younger sister, Megan, said their dad had taken a fall. Nothing fatal, but the kind that makes a family talk about long-term plans. Josh hadn't seen his father in almost 6 years. They didn't fight, they just let distance do the work that arguments usually do. Now Megan was asking him to come home. By the time Josh reached Willow Bend, the sun was sliding behind the old cottonwoods that lined the main road. The air smelled like dust and barbecue smoke. It felt strange to see the familiar shapes of the diner, the gas station, and the small bridge by the river. Nothing had changed, which somehow made him feel even farther away. His father was sitting in the living room with a cast on his arm and the same stubborn look he'd worn for decades. He nodded at Josh. Not warm, not cold, just a nod. Megan tried to fill the silent space between them with small talk, but the room felt like a museum built around things no one wanted to examine. That night, Josh walked down to the bridge. When he was a kid, he'd bike there to escape his father's strict rules. It wasn't much, a short wooden span hanging over slow water. But he used to sit there and imagine the rest of his life unfolding somewhere far away. Jobs, cities, new friends, all the things he believed he needed. The river whispered underneath. Fireflies drifted above the brush like floating sparks. The quiet felt heavier than he remembered. A voice came from behind him. Didn't think you'd come back. He turned to see Claire Hollis. She was his best friend in high school. They had grown apart the way so many teenagers do when graduation cracks the world open. She looked older but still had the steady smile he remembered. They talked for a while. She told him she worked at the local elementary school. He told her about his job in Chicago and the deadlines that owned his life. She laughed softly. "You always acted like Willow Bend wasn't enough for you," she said. He shrugged. "It isn't that. I just thought I needed something different." "You found different," she said. "Did it feel better?" He didn't answer. The truth sat in his mind in an uncomfortable way. He had a job that paid well and an apartment with a skyline view. But most nights he ate dinner alone at his desk and fell asleep to the sound of traffic. He didn't feel unhappy. He just felt unfinished. Over the next few days, he spent more time with his father than he expected. Not by choice at first, his dad needed help with simple things like grocery runs and doctor visits. But something ordinary started to happen. They talked, slowly, awkwardly, like two men who didn't know how to apologize but were trying in their own clumsy way. One afternoon, Josh found an old box in the garage. Inside were letters he had written as a kid, dozens of them. Childhood dreams in messy pencil handwriting. He remembered dropping them on the kitchen table for his dad to read. He flipped through a few and noticed something surprising. His dad had written notes in the margins, encouragements, little jokes, things he'd never seen. His father walked in while he was reading. "You kept these?" Josh asked. "Of course," his dad said. "You were always trying so hard. I wanted you to know I saw that." Josh didn't know what to do with the lump in his throat. It was easier to set the letters down than talk about how they made him feel. But something shifted between them. Maybe not forgiveness, but understanding. On his last night in town, Josh returned to the bridge. The air was cooler. The sky was full of stars. Claire joined him again, carrying 2 milkshakes from the diner, just like they used to get in high school. "You heading back tomorrow?" she asked. "Yeah," he said, "at least for now." "You'll come back," she said. "People always do when they realize the things they left behind weren't the problem." He looked at the river, the bridge, the lights of the town in the distance. For the first time in years, Willow Bend didn't feel small. It felt like a place where life happened in simple, steady ways. "I'll be back," he said, and for once he meant it. Josh wasn't sure what came next, but he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time, a kind of quiet clarity. The sense that he didn't have to outrun the place he came from to become the person he wanted to be. As he walked off the bridge and toward the house where his father sat reading, the night wrapped around him like a familiar old jacket. It didn't feel tight, it fit.